Hey there, my name is John Siskovich, and today we're going to talk about how you change your farm strategy in the face of a COVID disaster where we have an international pandemic. Now, if you're a vegetable farmer, you might be thinking about scaling up. If you're a protein farmer, you still have some stores in the freezers, and you might be thinking about scaling up as well. We're going to discuss your farm scale this year, what my thoughts are and what I'm doing, and I want to leave this open for conversation going forward because things are constantly evolving. But today we're going to dig into scaling up, scaling down in the face of a pandemic. So if you're a vegetable producer, which I have more chicken and protein and pasture, so I'm not going to cover vegetables too much on this video, but farm sales, you have to rethink how you're going to have people pick up. If you sell a lot of farmers markets, if you sell wholesale to restaurants, you have a seasonal, I'm just going to have to stop every time he crows. You have a seasonal item that doesn't keep for longer periods of time, and you're more used to that. You're going to make better calls than I do. I'm going to discuss this with the pastured livestock group because that's who more of my channel is comprised of. Now, with the pastured livestock group, there's some of my friends down south who are already growing and have increased their production based off of the sales that they're seeing right now. And especially with pastured poultry, you're able to do that pretty quick because you have a 6 to 8 week, well, we'll say an 8 to 10 week ramp up and ramp down period where you can quickly adjust your batch sizes and how much you're producing based off what the market is doing. And that's kind of a real benefit, where if you were doing all grass-fed beef, it's a 12-month, 24-month ramp up period to increase, and it's just a different model, and it's harder to adjust when you're faced with a situation like we have right now. Now, with pasture poultry, if you're seeing a 300% increase in sales right now, if you're selling through all your backstock and you're thinking like, let me increase like 5-fold on my farm, my piece of caution would be that if you are increasing your sales right now, but you're not increasing your total customer base, then you're stocking the freezers of the people who would buy from you anyways throughout the year. So at some point, they're going to be working through their backlog after they've done their doomsday prepping, and they're not necessarily going to buy much more from you. But if you see an increase in your total customer base where you're selling more product to more people, and you have ways to capture those people's information and make connections and be an honest and trustworthy person, then you have a larger customer base going forward who is looking for better food security when faced with adversity. They're looking for their local farmer that is growing in a healthy way that they can trust and is going to produce something that they can rely on. And that's great. And that, to me, would trigger scaling up. And that scaling up doesn't always mean going from 100 to 10,000. It could be adding an extra 1,000 birds for the year, add an extra 2,000 birds for the year. If you're at 10,000, maybe you add another 4,000 birds. Whatever you're going to have to make those decisions for yourself. I just want you to think through not just what is happening today and the increase in sales and attention that you might be seeing right now, but how this is going to affect you going forward. And that's something that, irregardless of whether there is a pandemic going on, you want to think through not only where you want your farm to be, where you want to be, and where you think your customers are going to be going forward. Pasture poultry is a niche product that is more nutritious, more flavorful, better for the ground, better for the birds, better for the people. And there's not a lot of people producing it right now, which means there's a great market here, a market opportunity for people to grow this type of business. It's quick to ramp up, quick to ramp down if you need to. The infrastructure costs for getting started are really low, and because you're buying in the inputs and adding value with your grass and with your land and your management and your knowledge, just the across the board, the barriers are pretty low. Plus, the immense wealth of knowledge from the American Pasture Poultry Producers Association means that no matter what, whether I'm reachable or not because you're watching my YouTube video, the professionals from around the country in that organization are going to be able to answer your questions, get you up and started, and even if you're just raising birds for yourself to be a little bit more food secure, there's an opportunity here. So I would like to know in the comments for this video what your thoughts are on scaling up, scaling down. Are you guys changing your production model at all this year? I doubled all my batch sizes. I had small batch sizes because we were doing more research-based case studies here on the farm and playing with our marketing because we have a brewery and we've been selling more beer, and chickens is kind of more of a niche product for us. So I've doubled my batch sizes. I'm still doing around 1,000 birds, a little under 1,000 birds this year. And yeah, I want to know what you guys are up to. I have covered this topic in depth with Dave Shields of Pastured Life Farm. We did a 1-hour podcast interview recently, recorded, and that'll be coming out in the next week or so on the podcast episode, on the Growing Farms podcast. I have relaunched that podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and what's the other one? Spotify. And that you can find, there's over 100 episodes from the archives that you can listen to while you are staying at home, listening to the rooster crow and be pissed that you're shooting video in his territory. I hope you guys enjoy whatever it is you're doing right now. Try to find the bright side of what is going on. The sun will shine. We will all get past this. There are tough times ahead, but there are good times ahead as well. Stay strong, be well, be healthy, stay inside, stay at home. It's nice for me to shelter in place because I have 52 acres and I'm raising chickens and I'm about to get pigs, and I will cover all that here on YouTube. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, and until next time, I'll see you out in the field. He's pissed. The rooster is pissed that I'm in here. All right. Did it without too many. Are you yelling at me? Stop yelling at me. Wish I could lock you in a box for like 2 minutes. Let me record this video. A nice box with like lots of space and things to do and puzzles and games.